Good morning, dear students. After completing the previous chapter, we'll start today chapter number 10, that is following the Mahatma, part number 2. In this chapter, we'll first of all discuss about the civil disobedience movement which took place in 1930. Let us read it out first and find out what is given here. It was difficult to attain Swaraj without putting up a fight. At the Ahmedabad session of the Indian National Congress, the executive committee decided to launch a movement to attain Swaraj by breaking the unjust laws in a disciplined way. It authorized Gandhiji to launch the civil disobedience movement. So in 1930, the freedom fighters, those who were working for the freedom of our country, they came with a session which was held in Ahmedabad and brought them to a conclusion that we have to put up a fight against Britishers in order to attain Swaraj. So the executive committee decided to launch a movement so that they can attain the Swaraj, the freedom, by breaking the unjust laws, the rules which were not fulfilling or developing the Indians, and to break that laws in a disciplined way using truth and non-violence. So Gandhiji started civil disobedience movement. So there were many movements which were held under the civil disobedience movement. One of the movement which was under civil disobedience movement was Dandi March, which took place in 1930 itself. This was a very famous march which started from Ahmedabad and reached Dandi to break the salt law. In those days, the British government, they have imposed a big tax on salt which was the property of the Indians, and if the Indians had to purchase the salt, they have to pay the taxes which was nearly 2000 times more than the previous ones. The Indians considered it unjust, and they started to stand against the law which was made by the Britishers to purchase salt. So the civil disobedience movement started with the breaking of the unjust salt law. The British government has monopolized the production and trade of salt for the British government and the English merchants only. So Britishers, they have made the rule that the production and trade of salt will be done by the Britishers only and by the English merchants only, and Indians were not allowed to produce and trade the salt. Salt was made a taxable commodity which Gandhiji and other nationalists felt was very unjust. So Gandhiji announced in the year 1930 that he would carry out a march to Dandi near Surat to break the salt law. But before we start this march, I would like to remind you the incident which took place in Uttar Pradesh, which is known as the Chauri Chaura incident, by which the Quit India movement came to an end because some freedom fighters who were protesting against the Britishers in the Chauri Chaura village, they had set up fire in the police station, and nearly 21 policemen of the Britishers died, and thus the violence broke out, which was not supported by Gandhiji, and Gandhiji said that I am not happy with this protest and I am withdrawing the Quit India movement. So after that, Gandhiji said that the people who will support me in my march by complete non-violence should only join this march, and other people who will not support me with non-violence, they are not allowed to join the march. So with the promise of joining the march with full non-violence, 78 companions were ready on 12th March 1930 to start a march from Sabarmati Ashram. Meetings were held in every village that was on the route. Gandhiji explained to the people the characteristics of the civil disobedience movement, which was needed to break the salt law, and the significance of the satyagraha in attaining Swaraj. So on the way, wherever they stopped in the villages, they were organizing meetings and explained the peoples what is the significance of the satyagraha and what is the power of the satyagraha, so that we can attain Swaraj or freedom. Gandhiji also explained the characteristics of civil disobedience movement, which was capable to break the unjust laws which was made by the Britishers. After reaching the villages in the route, at last Gandhiji reached Dandi on 5th April 1930 in the evening, and after taking rest for the night, early in the morning on 6th April at 6:30 a.m. he broke the salt law. While picking up a fistful of salt in his hand, Gandhiji said that, "With this, I am shaking the foundations of the British Empire." Farmers, tribals, and women actively participated in this movement. The government resorted to the policy of suppression, and thousands of satyagrahis were arrested. So Gandhiji picked up a handful of salt on 6th April 1930 in the morning at 6:30 and said that, "I am breaking the salt law which is made by the Britishers, and by this I am shaking the foundations of the British Empire. From today onwards, we are not going to cooperate any of the rules and regulations which are made by the Britishers, and we will follow our own policies." The government was not happy with the policy, and they started to suppress the movement by arresting the satyagrahis. Nearly thousands of satyagrahis were arrested and put in the jail. But as per the promise made by Gandhiji, none of the people stand in against the Britishers, and with happy hearts they allowed the arrest to the Britishers. Now we'll talk about the Round Table Conference. In the history of India, totally Round Table Conference was held for the two times, and for the both times the Round Table Conference was unsuccessful and no result came. So British government convened round table conferences in order to discuss the constitutional changes required for India. The first conference was unsuccessful as the Indian National Congress decided to boycott it. So in the first table conference, when Britishers called the members of Indian National Congress, none of the members of Indian National Congress went to Britishers for round table conference, and it was unsuccessful. The second round table conference was held in 1931, that too in London. Only Gandhiji was called, and he attended as the only representative of the Indian National Congress. In this conference, the demand for separate electorate for the Dalits and for different communities was made by Gandhiji. He demanded that Dalits and different communities should get a separate electorate, so they should be able to give their votes also. But Gandhiji was disappointed by this because his was not accepted by the Britishers. Leaders of various communities did not agree, and hence the conference was failed. So the round table conference was held two times in 1931. The first was unsuccessful as the members of Indian National Congress decided to boycott it. They didn't attend it. In the second conference, which was held in London in 1931, Gandhiji was the only representative of INC, and the demands which were made by the Gandhiji was not accepted, and thus the second round table conference was also unsuccessful. After that, it gave rise to Indian Independence Act 1935, and we'll start this in the other video. Today we will talk about Dandi March and the round table conference. These movements, round table conference and Dandi March, they come under the civil disobedience movement, which was started by Indian National Congress to break each and every unjust law that was made by the Britishers. The first one was Dandi March, the rules which was made by the Britishers to produce and trade the salt only by the English merchants and not by the Indian merchants. So this was not justice, and it was unjust law made by the Britishers. So Gandhiji protested against it with his weapons of truth and non-violence, and he was successful at the end. So dear students, you read it once and try to collect some more information if it is available to you. That was there for Dandi March and round table conference. We will continue the same with Indian Independence Act 1935 in the next video. Till then, stay healthy and keep studying. Good luck.